During the recent COVID pandemic, one of my former students asked if I would teach some special online classes for her high school students in St. Croix. She requested that I focus on practical life skills, human values, and whatever else I thought might complement her efforts to inform, transform, and inspire them in the midst of the challenges they and millions of other students were facing. I was both honored and excited by her request, but wondered how I would grab and keep their attention, especially since we would be online and not face to face. Long story made short, I ended up spending over 25, 26, 27 class hours with her students, and afterwards received several letters and a few personal requests. What follows is an ambitious and deliberately detailed effort to respond to one student's earnest request to give him some advice about how to overcome procrastination. Of course, I had to think about it for a while, since I, and nearly everyone I know, still gets stuck with deferring, postponing, and putting things off. But after recalling advice I had been given, and sometimes actually took, and then giving it some of my own thought, I sat down and began to write. Dear Miles, I wrote, because that was his name. Without having details and not really knowing you, I'll just give it my best shot. Please take some time to give some good reflective thought to what I'm writing and to each of the bullet points below. And then get busy. Inaction is only helped by applying its opposite force, which is action. First, you will have to use the power of your own good mind, plus your willpower, to reduce procrastination. One very scientific way to develop your willpower, which will be important throughout your entire life, is to practice your won't power, meaning that besides some things that are very useful to do and achieve, there are also things that will definitely get in your way. And so those are things that you won't do. I got caught up in doing some pretty negative stuff for a while, beginning around age 17. But I stayed in school and worked, knowing I had to do that, or I would fail in life. I had some very heavy challenges and eventually got over them, but I suffered lots of heavy repercussions for a long time. I might tell you more about this one day. I had asked you about sports because my own dedication to running is one thing that helped me a lot for a long time and gave me some good balance. Knowing that some actions and habits are good and will help your development, and also knowing some are not, you should identify those things you will do that will help you achieve your goals, plus those things you won't do because you know where they can lead. Then just do your best. No matter how often you fall, just get up again and don't mess around or get caught up with self-criticism. One poet I like very much wrote that it doesn't matter how many times you fall, even if 1,000 times, he wrote. He simply says, try, honestly try again and again, and keep getting up. That's what matters the most. Okay, now here's some bullet points for you. Use the power of your mind, your will, and your determination to transform and elevate your mind. Negatives will always come up, but never focus on them for too long, because that will only give them more power. We live in a world of ups and downs, sunrises and sunsets, day and night, good and evil. So negatives will always come with positives, sometimes like a shadow. Don't let them defeat you. Everybody procrastinates. It is only human to do so from time to time. Just don't let it become a habit. Tendencies can lead to behaviors, and repeated behaviors can lead to habits. Then habits will build your character for better or for worse. Don't criticize yourself. There are enough people around who will do it for you. If you find a weakness, look at it honestly and try to see it for what it is and for what you might be able to do about it. All human beings have weaknesses, and all have strengths. We have to play to and empower our strengths through practice and disempower our weaknesses by working on them or by simply accepting them. Don't angst over them. It is a waste of time and energy and can lead to a wrong self-assessment about your potential and even make you forget your strengths. Focus on and be proud of each and every accomplishment and on what you can and will achieve. And then get busy. Always be patient with yourself and always try to keep your action goals in mind. Never try to be perfect. Just ease on down or up the road you're traveling. I tried that for a long time, but total perfection ain't gonna happen. It diverted my energies away from the positive things I was achieving and more that I wanted to achieve. Sometimes you must just jump in and simply force yourself into action. Then you will later experience how good you felt because you made that effort. Maybe you didn't succeed, but you tried, and that's better than what many do. Focus on one thing at a time. Don't let your mind run all over the place, especially when you are trying to achieve or finish something specific. Don't generalize about yourself unless it is good. I always do this. I always do that. Is only good when it is good and good for you. Don't let procrastination over one thing stifle you or slow you down for other things. Honestly, there are things I still procrastinate about, but they are small things and have no deep consequence for me now or for others. So I don't let it get me down. Weigh and anticipate the consequences of doing something versus not doing it or doing something else. What are the possible outcomes of doing or not doing? Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King once said he often thought about what might happen to the people he did not help. And so he rarely procrastinated. He just kept fighting on for the better being of as many as possible. Make reasonable and common sense priorities. Consider what's more important and less important. And again, get busy. Pray, meditate, and or practice mindfulness at least once every day. 10 minutes a day can work wonders, but you have to be serious and you have to be consistent. Make it a habit. It will evolve over time and continue to empower you even more as time goes by. Picture yourself always achieving the good things you want. I know professional athletes who actually visualize their moves as part of their preparation for games. They make good use of their power of concentration and positive intention. Think ahead about what doing something or not doing something will look like. And also think about how it will make you feel inside. Find role models, real and in your life, or by way of biographies and stories of people you admire and wouldn't mind being like. You may not actually achieve what they did, but you might achieve something else. It is often one's effort and character that makes them admirable and successful. So always work on your character. Take a break whenever need be. Do something else and come back to it when the time feels right. But don't stay away too long. Again, plan ahead and try not to get into a position where you have to rush things or cut corners. Don't worry about things you can't control, and that's a whole lot of things. That kind of worry is useless and will bog you down and sap your energy. Be sure to mind your mind and pay attention to how you are thinking and feeling about yourself and about what you have to do. Give yourself a break. No one is in charge of your thinking but you. This is extremely important. Others can only influence you. They can't get inside your mind and impact your emotions unless you let them. This is a tough one, but it's very important to get on top of as soon as possible. Success is always an inside-out job, but sometimes with help from friends, family, and mentors. Don't hang out too much with others who procrastinate or do things that are not in your best interests. I had to drop some friends in the past. Friends are supposed to help you go forward, not backward. Mostly, we only have a very, very few real friends. Find them and cherish them. Avoid people who are too much into themselves, who may value the wrong things too much, or who won't take you to a better place. By definition, a friend helps and doesn't hurt. Friends don't get in trouble together. They avoid trouble together and always watch out for each other's back and best. I don't even know where those people are who got me into such long-lasting trouble back in the day. Well, the final thing I like to say is be sure to practice the watch. Watch your words, watch your actions, watch your thoughts, watch your character, and watch your heart. Miles, I realize that what I'm suggesting isn't easy, but it is what works. Can't do it all, or even some of it right away, but take time to review what I've written and go at it patiently, sincerely, and consistently. If you do this, I guarantee that you will definitely see results.